All right. About the same number of people, huh? How was the bye week? You're getting ready to ask me, I know. So it's good. It's good to have a little bit of time. Yeah. You can't go anywhere without people finding out. Yeah. So you guys know about Big Charlie's? Great little, and Paulie owns it. And they've been great. Like way back when I got the job here, I knew about it, so I stopped over, and they've become terrific friends. And when we played the Eagles there, was that last year? I think we played the Eagles. Maria, my wife, went over and was a guest bartender, and she took all her tips and gave it to charity or something. And the guys were telling me when I was at, I don't know if I'm supposed to do all this, but I'm telling you anyway. So she was leaving. Maria's so innocent. She's leaving, and she's got the money for the tips to bring to her charity. She's in South Philly. And she's just ready to walk out and go to her vehicle. And they said, no. They put 2 bodyguards on her and walked her out of there. So I thought that was pretty good. All right, enough of that. I'll open it up. We're getting ready to play Tennessee. So we did, yeah. Listen, they're good people. And it's a unique group. You know, they're right smack in the middle of South Philly. And there's a good 100 and so of them that are loyal to the Chiefs every Sunday. And the paraphernalia in there is wild. I mean, it's no bigger than this room and that room together. You ever been there, Sid? Yeah. But they're great. They're great. So I had said for 2 years I was going to stop and bring the ring, and I hadn't had a chance to do it. COVID and everything that happened. So that was my bye week deal. It was great. Good people. All right, let's get on to Tennessee here.
So Derrick Henry is obviously a stud for them.
Yeah.
And you guys are getting about him trying to get yourself ready to defend him.
Yeah.
You faced him before.
Yep.
Last year he didn't crush you guys, but he's a factor every week. What are you seeing from him this year that's maybe a little bit better than or worse than he's been before?
Well, listen, he's been on a roll. I mean, the whole team has, right? They lose the first 2 games and then go 5 straight. So they're geared up and headed. It looked to me like they got back to their Tennessee formula in the last couple of weeks, which is play great defense, run the football, control the clock a little bit, win on 3rd down, and all of it kind of is generated by the guy you're talking about, you know, King Henry, they call him, right? And he's the king of the run game. And a big challenge for us because he's a big back. You can't simulate that in practice, right? So you just got to hope that your foundation of what you've done up till this point allows you to tackle him. Got to find a way to get him on the ground. Look, everybody does the exact same thing. It's not a secret, you know. Try to get more hats there. Commit 8 or 9 or whatever it is, take some chances in the run game and hope it doesn't hurt you deep. But it's focus number 1.
To follow up on what he said, I'll give you more credit. 29 for 89, Todd, I think is pretty good last year against Henry. Yeah. But A.J. Brown, obviously, he got you. Is that I know he's not there this year, but you put so much into stopping him that.
Yep. And it's happened to other teams, too. You know, I know that stat sounds pretty good. I thought the game was a little bit different, right? They jumped out ahead, and then they changed, and we knew they were going to run ball the whole second half. So the challenge was a little bit easier in the second half of that game just because of the way it went. I think the challenge is going to be a lot tougher here. You know, we're anticipating that Ryan Tannehill will get back, and he's really good at getting them in and out of plays. And he knows enough that, look, if it's not great, he may throw it. He's been around the league a long time. So we can't afford the explosive passes, which nipped us a little bit last week. And we certainly got to find a way to stop number 22. If you don't do that, it's going to be a long day, right? They're going to have the ball, and our number 15's over on the sideline, and none of us want that. So we're going to have to play that game with it. And somebody on the outside, talking about our coverage guys, somewhere along the way are going to have to make a play on their own in coverage.
You talk about how hard it is to stop a big back like that, and we hear that every time Derrick Henry comes around, but there's no other big backs coming through the system. Why, if it's such a challenge for defensive coordinators, how come
more people don't do it?
Yeah, every running back's like 5'9", 5'10", 210.
Yeah. Because they want them to be pass catchers. Right? Everybody's throwing the ball. I mean, that's just my guess. You'd have to ask offensive guys why. But it just comes back to the same thing with him. The thing we've been preaching this week is own your role, right, on every play, and tear off or get off. A blocker is going to be assigned to every guy. Maybe a hat on a hat. Tear off your block before he gets there, because you got no chance if you're engaged in a block and you're trying to tackle him because he's that good.
One of the bright spots in that game was Nick Bolton and how he played.
Yeah.
How important is he to being able to, and how repeatable? success is that effort?
Yeah, hopefully it's repeatable. Listen, he's done some really good things for us. He's right in the middle of the defense, and in that game you're talking about, he was in the middle. I think Hitch had gotten hurt somewhere along the way, so he was in the middle, and that's where we want him. We'd like to keep Nick as clean as we can and let him do his thing, but that can't always happen. And they do a great job in their zone blocking scheme to get people up on him. I'm sure they'll be very cautious of that.
Normally about this time of year, rookies stop being rookies. You know, they've had enough experience. But Trent, he's basically a rookie.
Yeah.
He's been out for 8 weeks. So
Yeah.
what is he, like how far behind is he from a typical rookie?
Yeah, we'll find out. It's a good question. It's hard to tell. I mean, he's been out there in this 3-week window period, you know, where he's been practicing, and then some days have gone good, some days not so good. He had a good day yesterday. We hope he's past all of that, and we hope he can go out and be the guy that we thought he was going to be when we took him, and that he was developing and being through training camp in the early part of the season. But that whole window of time, that's tough. It's tough to make up. We're going to have some more growing pains, right? I got the guys that have been going through, and we may have to go through some there. But we've got a lot of confidence in Trent.
You had the pass rush going pretty well in
Yeah.
San Francisco. When you call Blitz, how much of it is, okay, that's in the game plan for this down and distance, we're gonna come after him? And how much of it is just gut feeling that
Yeah.
we need to get after him on this particular play? Can you kind of quantify that?
Yeah.
Is it mostly game plan stuff, or do you just kind of sometimes just say, hey, we need to get after him?
I mean, I put on the sheet that I have, obviously initial thoughts and, going in. But as the game gets going, if I'm being totally transparent, it's more of a feel thing than anything. And I just felt like and quite honestly, I mean, I think we got some pressures without coming after him, but we're never going to get away from what we do, because when you do that, then it puts a little stress on what the offensive line is trying to do with the backs. Because if you're sitting the same thing all the time, I think people are too smart in this league not to pick it up. So we'll always mix it up. It is a little bit of a feel, and I try to talk with the guys on what they, in between series, on what they like or what they're feeling, and then we just kind of roll from there.
Do you find yourself saying, wow, we really came after him a lot more than we anticipated, or the opposite?
Yeah.
We didn't go after him as much as we thought we were going to.
In that particular game, it's funny. It's been however long it's been, and I can't. I'm being honest with you, Adam. I can't really remember coming out of it. Whether we said, I don't remember saying to myself, I never say we came after him too much. I haven't said that, so I'll let you know when that pops in my head.
You guys opted to trade Rashad Fenton. You guys opted to trade Fenton. How tough was that? And then you joked before about playing rookies and like how we talk about that.
Yeah.
How comfortable are you now with 4 cornerbacks?
Well, yeah. Listen, Brett Veach and his crew saw an opportunity to do. We got a pick or whatever they did. But listen, Rashad's been here since we've gotten here. He was one of my special guys. It's hard to say goodbye to guys, but I thought it was a great opportunity for him. He's closer to home. The way things are developing, it was either going to be a rotational or. So I think it's worked out good, and it's time for guys to step up now. The guys that are young can't be young anymore. And we're talking about all of them right now.
Sorry about that.
That's
You're
good.
without Frank Clark now for 2 games.
Yeah.
And Adam was asking you about the Blitz, and Clark was obviously a big part of that against the 49ers. How do you make up for his absence over these next 2 games?
Well, we're fortunate that we're getting Mike Dana back. That's a good thing. And everybody else has got to step up. I mean, Carlos is there, and George, and Mike Dana, and Malik Herring. We're talking about back to another young guy, right? Because Malik didn't play it all last year, and he has to keep doing that. I thought Malik did some good things in the San Francisco game. We'll need him to do the same thing.
Steve, just the big off-season here in Kansas City for the offense was the receiver changes. I'm just wondering, as a defensive coordinator, is your game planning versus either a team that's got one big guy or a team that really spreads it around? I'm sure each one of them has its own challenges, but what are the challenges for a team that does, maybe spread the ball around a little bit more?
You mean doesn't have that one? Great point. I would answer it by this and say we're just going to do what we do. Typically we'd have a double or a rollover 2 or take these 2 guys away. Listen, again, I'm going to go back to the quarterback. We're talking a lot about the running back here, but I got a lot of respect for Ryan and the way he operates. And when you watch tape, and he did it against us, and we brought some of our pressures, he knew exactly where to go with it, and he gets it out really quick. I'm getting back to the doubling thing that we're going to have to go do what we do. And it's not like these receivers can't beat people, because they still got some solid guys. I mean, Robert Woods has been a good receiver in this league for a while. And there will be at times where we'll pay attention to him and do some things, but it's a little bit different than some other teams, and mainly because of the guy standing behind the quarterback. I mean, it's hard to commit 2 coverage people and him get the ball and not be light somewhere in the run game. That's probably what happens more than anything.
Let's go last two, Matt, sorry.
I'm not sure we've had a really chance to talk too much about Danny Shelton since he got here.
Yeah, I love Danny.
Kind of curious,
Yeah.
what you've learned about him. And,
Yeah.
Perception was that, maybe he can be somebody who can help you out against a team like the Titans that hasn't been.
Yeah, yeah, good point. I love having Danny here. He's the consummate pro, totally committed to what we're doing, and we're working him in there. Part of it too is he hasn't had a foundation of reps in the system. Not that, so we don't know a lot right now, but hopefully slowly as we go, and a turn of an ankle here or something happens there. I mean, he may be in there. We'll see. But I am glad we got him. I think he does some really good things for us. Or can.
This year would obviously look like more of a, what is a traditional base defense, 4-3, and have all 3 of your linebackers out there. Harris played real well when he was filling in for Willie. How's that 3rd linebacker spot between he and Chenal fit together?
No, it's a great point. We're fortunate in knowing that we have a guy, another linebacker that we know can play pretty good because he went out and did it, and he proved it. So there's a little bit of rotation there. I think we did it in the San Francisco game. I can't remember. But Derrick has earned the right to play some football for us in the things that he does. But we'll just see how the game goes in terms of how much what we call base offense they put out there and what we have to match it with. We'll see how it goes. Okay? Thank you.
All right, guys.